business insight today. Registration for Artwork's next Springboard session, which starts in March, is now open. Springboard is Artwork's business planning and development program for artists and creative entrepreneurs. The sessions offer a variety of resources for entrepreneurs to achieve their artistic and economic goals through a unique and collaborative learning environment. To date, 103 creative entrepreneurs have participated in the course, and 21 new businesses have launched from the program. Sarah Corlett, Director of Creative Enterprise for Artworks, joins our Business Courier editor Rob Dahlmeyer here in the studio for more on the program. Rob and Sarah.
Brian, thanks. Sarah, thanks so much for being here this morning. Before we get started, I need to ask, what is a creative entrepreneur? I mean, we are constantly, that's what we do. We cover businesses all the time, but this is sort of a new term for me.
Sure. So it sounds a little vague, but what it means to us is it's anyone who's making anything with their hands. So if you think about furniture, home accessories, fashion, culinary expertise and specialists, but it also expands and broadens to the world of graphic design and photography, and even to those individuals who have a really great idea for a retail concept and would consider it in the creative realm, so something outside the box.
Is it fair to say that people who happen to be artistic and creative don't always necessarily think a lot about the business end? I mean, is that one of the reasons that that this exists?
That's the exact reason that we started this program. Springboard lives under Artworks, and historically we've economically supported artists in our city, and it really became about how do we help this creative sector gain economic sustainability. And so people are trained these technical skills, whether it is culinary or design skills in school, but they're not introduced to entrepreneurship and what it means to run your own small business.
How many times a year do you offer these classes?
These classes are currently being held 5 to 6 times a year, so we're seeing just a continued growing demand for it and feel like we need to keep offering this program.
So, and Brian mentioned this, there have been over 100, the Courier did a story on this just a month ago, that you hit your 100th person to go through it. What, in about, what, a quarter of them so far have been able to go ahead and start something. Is that fair?
Right. So this program works if you're a seasoned entrepreneur and you want to go back and do some strategic growth planning, and it also works if you have a brand new idea and you're a startup. So of the startups that have participated, we've had 21 new nonprofits or companies launch from the program.
So if I went through the classes, if I was artistic, which I'm not, but if I went through the classes and I did this, is that it? I mean, do you sort of say good luck, or is there any continuing efforts or continuing ed?
We definitely have continued education. So over the course of those 9 weeks, the entrepreneurs are working through the components of a business plan, and we integrate local attorneys, accountants, marketing and branding professionals into the coursework. So they're getting to interact with those individuals. So one, they're forming ongoing mentorships and relationships with people they'll need to interact with to succeed. And also we host monthly roundtables, and these are on topics we may not get to touch on in the classroom setting, but it's part of that journey of being a small business person.
Where'd you guys get the money to start Springboard up?
Springboard was actually initially funded, and we continued to have ongoing support from the Hale Foundation. And then recently PNC Bank stepped up, really saw the value of supporting creative entrepreneurship in our city and what it's doing for innovation.
So when is the next deadline? When is the deadline if you want to get into the next class? What's the deadline?
Sure. So the deadline for registration is February 8th, and anyone can go to springboardcincinnati.org to register. The class is held from March 13th to May 8th, and we meet once a week on an evening from 6 to 9 p.m.
And those are at the...
they are at Artworks?
At Artworks.
Yes.
Great.
Correct.
Well, hey, congratulations. You're over 100, and that's fantastic. And it sounds like there's enough business being generated from those 100 that we need more of these classes. So we're so happy you're here.
Yes.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.